That's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation. Well, it's a long story, but it all started last patch. In the most recent patch, SBI reworked the Guardian helmet from being a heal to a shield. Now, when I first heard about this change, I predicted that it would be a very strong item, and I was completely right. It is probably one of the most widely used items in Corrupted Dungeons, and recently in Seaborn's 3v3 content creator tournament that I was a part of, it was just a whole whackload of Guardian helms, and combined with the frequent night boot usage, it almost felt like I was hitting shields more often than I was hitting actual health of players. However, originally I thought it would just be strong, but now that I've thought about it and played with it a little bit more, I'm starting to realize just how overpowered this truly is. You see, at first I thought it was strong because it was a super versatile defensive that was very strong against many different types of builds. Since it both cleanses damage over time effects and gives a very hefty shield for a short duration, it means that it both counters those sort of slow pokey down builds that rely on dots such as axes, cursed staves, or anything that uses mage cowl, and much more, but also counters those builds that have a very defined damage period. However, while this is strong, it's not recognizing the full potential of the Guardian helmet. You see, shields in Albion work in a weird way. When someone deals damage to a player that has a shield, it doesn't actually count as doing damage to that player, it just does damage to the shield. And so anything that has a negative effect for when you take damage, such as Cultist Robe or Revitalize on nature stabs, has that negative effect neutralized by having a shield on you. But that's still not the end of what Guardian Helmet offers. You see, every single person has one particularly very strong ability that gets interrupted by damage, and that's their mount. This brings us back to our original situation where I was in a little bit of a pickle. Or was I? You see, it takes 3 seconds between the time that you press your mount up button and the time that you actually get mounted. Now, Guardian Helmet very conveniently lasts, you guessed it, 3 seconds. So that means if you press your Guardian Helmet and then instantly mount up, since they're going to be hitting your Guardian Helmet rather than you, that means they can't cancel your mounting up animation without hard CC. So you can literally just walk up to someone, press Guardian Helmet, and then instantly mount up. They can't stop you without blowing through the entire shield value of the Guardian Helmet, hard CCing you, or purging your shield and then hitting you. Now, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this or if it should be in the game. In some ways, I don't like it because it seems very strong. It's a very easy way to get mounted that otherwise wouldn't be in the game, making Guardian Helmet incredibly valuable in the open world. But on the other hand, I'm a huge fan of solo open world PvP. It's my favorite content in the game, and this is a really beneficial thing for solo open world PvPers, allowing them to escape in many situations where they otherwise wouldn't be able to. Now, that being said, it does have some pretty big downsides. First is that you can't actually Guardian Helmet and mount at literally the exact same time. There's going to be a very brief window in between them, and so at the very end of your mounting up animation, there will be a very brief period in time where your Guardian Helmet wears off and you'll be susceptible to damage. So if people know about this strategy and are specifically looking for that, there's a good chance they'll be able to interrupt your mount, or if they just happen to do damage in that period, you won't get your mount off. Second, usually if you're Guardian Helmeting and then mounting up and using that to stop people's damage, they're going to be right on top of you, so as soon as you get mounted up, I mean, there's going to be someone dismounted right on top of you, so it's, you know, still not that likely that you're going to escape anyways because they're right on top of you, giving them a really good situation to dismount you again. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should damage applied to shields be the same as damage applied to players, and that it will stop you from mounting up and interrupt things like Revitalize and Cultist Robe, or should it stay as is? I'm currently leaning a little bit more to leaving it as is just because I love open world solo PvP, but I mean, I'm a little bit biased there. So anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe.